With a current 545,000 subscribers, Oliver Ibanez has the second biggest flat Earth channel I have ever seen. But his whole channel is entirely in Spanish. He has some great stuff though, so I'll go ahead and translate this video for you. Before I start translating though, here's a little introduction. This video is about the Urbano Monte map of 1587. It is significant because of its strong resemblance to the Gleason map. A lot of people give this map a hard time though, because it is referred to as a planisphere. People point to the serrated edges and say it was meant to be wrapped around a globe. So some people digitally put it on a globe and this is what you get. Notice how the North Pole looks just fine here. Around the equator it also looks pretty decent. But when you flip it upside down and look at Antarctica, what in the world is going on over there? That's all kinds of messed up. And it's very clear that they're trying to force that thing onto a ball.
Alright, so wow. I mean, could we have just discovered, despite what these guys want to say, these guys want to try to force it into a globe model, but is that what was really going on, or was he trying to create something scientifically and practically accurate, like it looks like he was doing here? Certainly spent a lot of time and a lot of effort into it, but there you go. It looks like we found yet another one of those things that make you go,
And now, here is your translation. Hello everyone, I'm Oliver, and today I wanted to tell you about an ancient map of the Earth that shows incredible things. A group of experts from David Rumsey's Stanford University Map Center managed to restore the 60 parts that when put together make up this huge map. It measures 10 feet by 10 feet and was hand-drawn by the cartographer Urbano Monte in 1587. It is the largest map of the 16th century. And the experts who restored it say that the attention to detail is incredible. The map belonged to a private individual and had not been studied for centuries. David Rumsey, the director of the center who filed the map, says he prefers not to reveal the price. But it's very high. Fortunately, Rumsey has published this map on the internet, so everyone has access to it. In order to better appreciate all the details, we should open this link that will allow us to zoom in and rotate the map. The first thing that calls attention is the central region around the North Pole. Please remember that during the 14th and 15th centuries, the Arctic was not represented as a deserted area of ice. Instead, it was represented as separate islands, usually with 4 rivers coming from the center of it. Curiously, in Genesis 2:10, it says that a river came out of Eden, which watered the garden and divided into 4 arms. From the 17th century, this central area, which often included a black-colored mountain, stopped appearing on maps and was replaced with the frost region we know today as the North Pole. Urbano Monte's map also shows some mysterious islands that don't appear on our current maps. The first of these appears under the name of Isola Cristalina and is located in the south of the Malbine Islands in the Argentine Sea. If we look for this place on Google Earth, a small island called Beochin Island appears, and if we zoom in, we can see that there is more of the island there that they are hiding. Looking for more information on the island, they tell us that the island was discovered in 1701, when without a doubt, you can see that it already appears here on Urbano Monte's map, 120 years earlier in 1587. According to official data, the island is also uninhabited, but it contains ruins of old buildings built after the year 1830. The curious thing is that if we go to the Zoom Earth page, we can see the entire island. And if we zoom in on the right side, which is censored on Google Earth, we will see a series of anomalies. These straight cuts are typical of some type of construction. You can also see some pyramid-like structures and strange grooves in the ground. Could these be the remains of an ancient civilization? On Wikipedia, they tell us that the island has many caves, many of which are still unexplored today. Another feature is about the peat, which forms 10 times faster than anywhere else in the world. This phenomena is still inexplicable. Another very suspicious thing is that anyone who wants to visit must apply for a special permit from the Malbine Islands Executive Committee, as well as an organization called Falklands Conservation. And you have to apply for a permit to take a census of the birds in the area. Without this special permit, it's not possible to visit and explore the island, which remind us of the prohibitions that exist in Antarctica. The second ghost island that appears on Urbano Monte's map is called Brazil, or High Brazil. The island is located west of Ireland, somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, and according to Irish mythology, it's always surrounded by fog, except one day in 7 years. The island already appeared in earlier maps, such as the one from the cartographer Angelino Dolcert in 1325, or in the Catalan Atlas of 1375, and continued to appear in maps until the first half of the 19th century. In 1480, there were several expeditions that set out from Bristol in search of this island, and although most of them failed, it is said that some of them did find the island. The Scottish captain John Nisbet claimed to have found the island High Brazil in 1674, and shortly after, Captain Alexander Johnson also claimed to have found the island, confirming the story of Captain Nisbet. According to them, the island is full of strange, giant black rabbits, and a wise old man lived there that gave them gold and silver. The last documented sighting of High Brazil was in 1872, when the Irish author Tejo Tabuestro claimed to have seen the island on 3 separate occasions. During the 20th century, numerous Irish fishermen also claimed that they have seen the mysterious island, which gradually disappeared from maps. On the side of Norway, Urbano Monte drew a spiral called Virago, which refers to a whirlpool. It's interesting because in 2009 there was a strange phenomenon known as the Norwegian spiral anomaly. The strange spiral-shaped light was observed in the night skies of Norway and Sweden.
Scientists from all over the world are trying to figure out what caused a mysterious blue light to spiral in the sky over Norway on Wednesday.
Early yesterday morning, just before dawn, this appeared in the Norwegian sky. A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole.
Mysterious sight in the skies over Norway early this morning. A never-seen-before spiral of white light. Some said it had a blue tail. Norwegian newspapers have been bombarded with people who claim to have seen it. Question is, of course, what was it? Now, some of the guesses range from a Russian missile, which Russia is denying, by the way, to a comet or some other type of object.
Really quickly, the day after the event, the Ministry of Russian Defense said it was a failed missile launch test.
What you are witnessing is a malfunctioning Russian intercontinental missile, and is one of the latest in their technological advances.
But the explanation here apparently lies across the border with the Russian military and another failed missile launch. As an explanation for the shape seen over Norway, the halo, they say, produced by missile fuel.
Although this explanation did not convince many people. And it reminds us of the strange light we saw in the sky that could be seen a week ago after the launch of SpaceX in California. Another interesting thing about the map is that Urbano Monte drew Noah's Ark in Turkey. And curiously, a few weeks ago, the news came out that more than 100 scientists and experts met in Turkey to look for the exact location of the Ark. In Genesis 8:4 it is written that after the universal flood, the Ark rested above the mountains of Ararat in Turkey. A group of explorers in 2010 claimed to have found the remains of the Ark on the highest peak of Turkey in the Ararat Mountains.
Yeah.
What caught my attention is the presence of mythological animals, including giants, in the outer part of the map. In Argentina, we can see that there's a region where giants are represented, but this is not unique to Urbano Monte's map. In fact, these giants are also present in other really old maps, such as this Mercator map of 1569, where they tell us that in Patagonia there were giants up to 3 meters tall. Please remember, that many skeletons and remains of giants have been found around the world, and authorities have suppressed any evidence they can get their hands on that verifies the existence of giants. In Genesis chapter 6, and in other apocryphal books, such as the Book of Enoch, the existence of these beings is mentioned in the past. In Urbano Monte's map, animal hybrids also appear, such as sirens, griffins, tritons, centaurs, and giant birds. Curiously, in the Book of Enoch, it is said that at the ends of the earth there are great beasts and strange sparrows of different colors. The presence of hybrid animals is described in the Book of Jasher and in the Book of Giants, which were a part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. And in these books it is said that before the flood, they practiced the union of different animals to provoke God. And many experts think that the mythological animals that have been represented by the many ancient civilizations actually existed in the past. Last, we will take a look at this graphic that appears in the corner of the map that shows a series of heads that cause the different terrestrial winds by blowing. This head in particular caught my attention, which is different from the others, which has the shape of a skull. The inscription says that this wind is harmful to all beings on Earth. Curiously, this wind is also described in the Book of Enoch, which is present in many ancient maps. And the presence of some evil winds is also mentioned and is observed in some of Urbano Monte's other maps. Without a doubt, this old map and its many mysteries are really interesting to analyze. Until the next video, this message has been brought to you by Oliver Ibanez and the Flat Earth Institute of Science. Thank you all for watching.